The news is now official. Zwift will be hosting a virtual Tour de France event during July, starting this Saturday, July the 4th. They'll be holding races for both men's and women's professional pelotons. They'll be hosting a virtual L'Etape du Tour for the rest of us, and there's a ton of new roads for us to ride. To keep this fast, I've dot pointed all the details that we know so far. 23 men's teams, 17 women's professional teams confirmed. All your favourites will be in the mix there. 6 virtual Tour de France stages for them to race. Each stage is approximately 1 hour in length. Keeps it nice and short, nice and entertaining. Held over 3 weekends. So 2 stages each weekend, Saturday and Sunday. There will be jerseys based on points, not time. That's interesting. All classifications are team-based to allow teams to substitute riders in and do a rider rotation. How this will pan out will be very interesting. Typically, it's only the mountains and sprint jerseys, I think, that are points-based. Now they're doing GC and Young Rider as well as points-based. Men and women events are all equal. Equal on stages, equal on distance, and equal on broadcast coverage. Excellent. It's taken a virtual Tour de France to get this on par, but good to see. Broadcast is global, online, and with the standard TDF broadcast partners. Details on the new maps or new worlds are, there are 2 of those that dropped the other day. We all know about those by now. France and Paris have dropped. France has a map with 7 new routes, each between 21 and 60 kilometers in length and between 133 and 1500 meters of climbing. There's a lot of climbing. The Paris map includes a new flat route, 6.6 kilometers in 2 directions. So, well, it's the Champs-Élysées. We know that. The standouts for me on that, Mont Ventoux and obviously the Champs-Élysées. The virtual L'Etape du Tour for the rest of us. 3 stages, 16 sessions each weekend, and I'll give you more details on those in just one moment. There's also the virtual Tour de France discovery rides during the weekdays between these events. So where Zwifters are able to explore the routes from the previous virtual Tour de France and ride those during the week. It states here these rides will be the only chance Zwifters will have to ride the new France and Paris maps during the campaign. Hopefully afterwards they'll unlock them so we can ride them at almost any time. We shall see. There will be 12 rides at 2-hour intervals per day. So lots to digest there. Let's get into the stage details though of the virtual Tour de France event. Saturday, 4th of July, this Saturday. Stage 1, Nice, which is just Watopia, just dressed up a little bit as Nice for now. For the first weekend, 36.4 Ks, 4 laps of Watopia Hilly, the original Watopia map. That's for both men and women. Again, everything is equal here for men and women, so I won't say men and women from here on. Everyone's the same. Stage 2 is July 5th, next Sunday. It's Nice, Watopia, again, riding up the mountain route. Froome may be running. Riding up the mountain route, which takes in the epic KOM radio tower, back down the hill into town for a sprint. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. The following weekend is onto the France map for the professional pelotons. We have a 48-kilometer flat stage on Saturday. We have a 22.9-kilometer double lap of a hilly stage for both pelotons on the Sunday. And remembering, after those events, we get to ride them on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we're on to the Queen stage. For both pelotons, Mont Ventoux, 22.9 kilometers. Now, it's not the full Monty or the full Ventoux. They're only going halfway up to Chalet Reynard, probably due to time constraints, but Zwift have made the complete Mont Ventoux for us to ride in the future, maybe after this event has been completed. And then on Sunday, it's the virtual champagne popping on the virtual Champs-Élysées. It's at 42.8 kilometers, 6 laps of the circuit. So there's all the details there of the stages of the virtual Tour de France event. Now, I'm not calling it the virtual Tour de France. It's a virtual Tour de France event. It doesn't replace the Tour de France. This is Zwift. Hopefully the Tour de France takes place next month. We shall see how that goes. Now, what's in it for us though? The virtual L'Etape du Tour. There are only 3 stages for that, and we're doing selected stages for every weekend. So the first weekend, upcoming this weekend, which is Nice, Watopia, we get to do the mountain route for that on Saturday and Sunday. Following weekend, we get to do the hilly lap, so 2 laps of the 22.9 kilometer hilly lap for the L'Etape du Tour rides. And the following weekend, 18th and 19th of July, we get to do Mont Ventoux. I think we get to do the full Ventoux though. 22.9 kilometers, same distance listed, but they do state we're finishing at the observatory, which I believe is right up the top, past the Tom Simpson Memorial. Very keen to see what Zwift have done, well, in all the graphics for all of this, but that part would be interesting to see. Okay, so there hasn't been a lot of technical detail published regarding this virtual Tour de France event. I can only assume there's a lot of people in the background that are going to be stressed and working very hard to make sure this is technically smooth sailing over Ant Plus and Bluetooth and however else they connect these devices. Now, to address the event-only maps discussion that's been happening online, I can only assume Zwift will open these later on for us to ride. Zwift and the ASO obviously have been working together with this. I assume they want some exclusivity early on for that, so let's see how things pan out. Now, some sleuthy sleuths over on the internets, I think it was Reddit, had spotted this, that event-only worlds on Zwift don't have badge unlocks. So Bologna and Crit City don't have a badge unlock. These new routes do, indicating that I think Zwift will open the door later on for us to ride these and achieve those route unlock badges. Look, I've no doubt these virtual Tour de France events are going to be very, very popular for both watching and riding with L'Etape du Tour stuff this weekend, especially the new roads we get to ride and explore. There's quite a few open plains we're going to have to ride through and some interesting terrain to get through, especially with the Mont Ventoux. Okay, with the power of the internet, we can have a quick look at the routes on the France map and quickly the Paris map, although there's not much to see for the Paris map. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce these because I will do it very, very wrong. But we'll have a look here. First route we have 22.9 kilometers, 155 meters of climbing, so not much at all. And you can see along that line there, that's the elevation profile. Not much to it. I'm guessing this is going to be used for stage 4, which is 2 laps of a 22.9 kilometer hilly stage, but not very hilly unless they're counted as hills there. Anyhow, next up, again, I'm not going to try and mispronounce this. Again, another flat stage there. Looks very much like the start of Titans Grove. Lots of corners, going to be very interesting on the screen, swinging around the back of the riders there, out through some countryside, but that's one whole 24 kilometer loop. So quite a lot of real estate taken up with this new map. We have a 60 kilometer loop here, which loops around a few different roads. I think this is every road included. And back to the start there, 60.8 kilometers RGV. Very similar loop. Another one there, which is the reverse of the first one. I believe it is indeed. Yep, there we go. So there's that one and that one a reverse of each other. This one and this one a reverse of each other. And this one, and I'm guessing that one is going to be the reverse. But if you can see what's hiding down below, then top, let's have a look. Starts out of town, goes up a very, very big hill. So big, in fact, you can't even see the elevation profile there. So there's a quick preview of the France world. Let's jump over and have a look at the Paris world. Paris, not much to it. We have the Champs-Élysées, 6.6 kilometers, 39 meters of climbing, and that's mostly done out of the tunnel. Also the long drag up to the Arc de Triomphe has some angle to it. So you can see there, it's just a little bit edgy. And I'm not going to try and pronounce that. And then we have some special group riders nearby and surprise me. So 2 new routes on there, including 2 new route badges to grab on this course too. And speaking of the route badges, I'll just scroll down through my route achievement list here, which still has a few potholes that I need to fill. I'm getting there. But down the bottom, we will see a number of new ones added here for all the new routes, including the Champs-Élysées. So in a nutshell today, pro riders, men and women racing on Zwift, we get to complete or compete in L'Etape du Tour. There are discovery rides during the week, during July, for us to ride the courses that have just been raced by the pros the previous weekend. There are new route badge unlocks, so it's all happy days. Now with this news today, I'm sure comes along a lot of debate regarding this not being real cycling or not being the real Tour de France. That's because it's not. It's a Zwift-hosted event labelled with the Tour de France logos, and it's just going to be a bit of fun. Call it entertainment, but there's some new roads for us to ride, so that's all good. As for the hardware, the rules, the scrutineering, and all the fine details, I'm sure there's a book probably about this thick that all the teams are going through right now to get things up and running for the weekend. Let's see how it unfolds, but for now, I'll be out there riding those virtual L'Etape roads. If you're on Zwift as well, we'll probably see you out there. All right, have a good day.